Welcome to Open Arms, an honest conversation about firearms. Hey everyone, I'm your host Brian Lockerman, and today I have my guest Maricarmen Birman, architect. We are going to have an honest conversation about firearms. Welcome, Maricarmen.
Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me. I feel honored.
Absolutely. So my first question for you about an honest conversation about firearms, what is your take on gun ownership?
Okay, I totally agree that we as Americans need to have the right to own guns. My problem is when people have access to all kinds of guns that shouldn't be in a household, like military, like the one who are designed not just to protect yourself or your house, but to really like attack people. You know, this is what I think. I don't know. I would love to hear from you.
Yeah.
Because you are the expert. This is what I think. It is a very fine line, very difficult to balance in this country. Like we see kids coming into the schools with these firearms that shoot like, I don't know, 300 in a minute.
I understand that. I understand.
And
what you're
this
saying.
shouldn't be available for regular people.
Well, I mean, the other side of the argument to that is, anything should be available to a law-abiding citizen. Most of the people that are using stuff like that are not purchasing them legally. They have maybe a mental problem too as well, which has to be addressed. So, I mean, to just say that we want to just get rid of all those type of guns, I don't think that's the answer. I think there's other steps we can approach to stop that type of mass shootings and things like that.
Yeah, like for example, my son is 19, right?
Okay.
He obviously cannot go to a bar and order an alcohol drink, but he can go to the store and get a gun. I mean, thank God he's healthy, mentally healthy, but as you said, there's so many mentally unhealthy people that have access to guns.
That's true.
At the same time, you please correct me if I don't remember. Right. It was a few years back, I think it was in Texas, that it was in a supermarket, Walmart or something like that it was this guy trying to shoot people or shoot somebody, but it was a person, just a regular person there who has his own gun and prevent these people to make a massive shooting. So, you know what I mean when I said it has to be a balance?
You're right.
That day I was like clapping for that guy.
Right. I know. That's what I'm saying. I mean, you can't really regulate the law-abiding citizen because, again, that's not where the problem lies. And, you talk, for example, the gun you're talking about is called an AR-15. Okay. It's not an assault rifle. It's called an Armalite is what the AR stands for. The thing about that platform of a gun, it's very easily used for women too. Not only men, but women as well. A lot of women will try a shotgun first, and it's just too big, too much of a blowback for their shoulders because they're petite sometimes, or they're not as strong as a man is. So they'll use buy an AR-15, get trained properly, and just in case they need it for protection. Okay, again. I know I do always hear that argument though. We got to get rid of those guns, all those guns. It won't stop anything. Now, here's one for you. You look at the laws they passed in California for gun control, from high cap magazines to different fixed magazines. There's this fin on the gun and stuff like that. Every time they put one of these laws into place, I want someone to show me that graph to where the crime drops. They don't have that evidence. It doesn't work. So that's not where the problem is. They're passing these laws to make law-abiding citizens criminals, basically.
Yeah.
So what's your thought on that?
And it's a good point. Like, I come from Mexico, people can hear my thick accent. and in Mexico, it's illegal to own a gun, even for protect your own household. So, but you see the cartels, all these AK-47 and all these military weapons, and where do they get them from? From here, from United States. Obviously, it's in the black market. I know that.
Yes.
So my point is, what should we do, or the government or the lobby, to regulate the black market? Because maybe that was the point that you were about to go. This is maybe the main thing.
Yes. Okay. So I'm glad you brought that up. So you're from Mexico,
Yes, correct.
and you can't just you don't have the Second Amendment, obviously. You can't just walk to a gun store and purchase a firearm.
No,
Can you?
not at all.
Okay. So how is crime in Mexico?
Oh, beautiful. I'm joking. It's horrible.
It's a lot of it, correct?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, of course, like you said, they're getting the guns on the black market. They know that people are not armed, law-abiding citizens in Mexico. So therefore, they get the run of the show.
Yep. Correct.
That's why, as a country, we put the Second Amendment together. It's for situations like that. So we don't have the cartels overrunning our cities and our people and things like that. I don't know if that would ever change in other countries, but what's your thoughts on Mexico? Did they ever try to put something in play where people can buy a firearm? Or?
As far as I know, no.
No, huh?
As far as I know, no. And to tell you the truth, I think the cartels have more,
Influence?
not just influence. Besides influence, they do have too, right? Unfortunately, but they have better weapons than the police or the army itself.
Yeah.
This is the problem. The problem is they get it from here, like you guys get the drugs from us, and we get the weapons from here. Sadly, it's a bad interchange.
I know it.
So, my thought was like, or my ideal would be, how can we prevent these weapons to go in the wrong people?
Yeah.
I know it's impossible to prevent it 100%.
I understand. And you're right about that. That is the key right there. It's just like driving a car. How do we prevent all the drunk drivers from not getting in their car? It's tough. It's tough to regulate everything, but we're trying. We are trying all the time to get better systems in play for mentally ill people, to get better systems in place so we can stop the buying of ghost guns and black market guns like you're talking about. There's steps, but some of the steps we're trying to take are just not working.
Oh, definitely they are not working. Otherwise, we wouldn't see, especially in this last month, all this shooting after shooting. Like today was Oklahoma, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
So the past week was like in Tennessee, or it has been like at least one every week.
Yeah.
So where do these kids or, people get those weapons? And as you mentioned before, the mental health. They are not taking care of the mental health people. They are in the streets doing crazy things.
That's where they have to focus. And we partnered up with an organization called Walk the Talk America. They're going to be part of our show as well. And they focus on mental health. And that's what they do, their organization. It's an amazing organization. It really is.
Do you think will be better, or at least possible, better of course, yes, possible that people who wanted to get a gun, doesn't matter what kind of gun or weapon, whatever, that they should go through a psychological test?
I mean,
besides the blood market, obviously they won't get that. But
yeah, I understand that, but that right there it kind of gets in a gray area, because then where does the parameter lie? Some states might say, okay, this guy said this word wrong, so he's mental, and I think that'll be a very tough one to really be able to control. That's my opinion on that.
Yeah, but at least, for example, I don't know, please correct me if I'm wrong. Like when you do this test to detect the lie detector.
Oh, yeah.
They usually are, 99% right. You probably can ask this, probably it's expensive. I know. Are you planning to do, some mass shooting? Yeah. I know it's expensive, but at the same time, we will save so much lives.
Yeah, that's a good one. That would be a problem because it would cause a lot of expense to do something like that, And I mean, it's one of those things too where people be kind of probably leery going to a lie detector. They can ask me some real personal questions. I don't want to get.
Yeah.
So I mean, again, I appreciate what you're saying. I mean, all these things are always arguments and points brought up, to try to a better situation when it comes to this. That's for sure. Now, for you, do you own a gun?
No, I don't.
You don't. Did you ever have any desire to get trained and own a gun?
Honestly, no.
No?
No. I mean, I tell you the truth. If I'm in that situation that my kids are in danger and I have a gun, I wish to have a gun. If somebody tried to kidnap my kids or harm them, of course I would love to have a gun and shoot them, and I won't hesitate it. Other than that, probably I won't. But if I could be in that situation...
Do you know, just to let you know, I mean, you don't have to necessarily own a gun to get training. Getting training, even if there's like an active shooter somewhere, and the do's and don'ts, what to do. It's always good to know those things.
I'm sure.
And even getting trained, with a firearm, so you know how to use or whatever like that. If that time came where you had to use one, or someone had one for you to use, or whatever. I know you don't want to own one and bring it in your home, but these are things that might actually save your life someday by getting a little bit of training in those fields.
Oh yeah, I'm not close mind. I'm not closing
Yeah.
my mind to that kind of training. I'm not convinced to have one in my house. And I don't have any reason, to be honest with you. Maybe never crossed my mind.
Yeah. I mean, because let me ask you this: you feel a lot safer here in the States, correct?
Yes, for sure.
Exactly.
For sure.
Okay.
Yes. We used to live in a gated community in Mexico with, these 3 entrances with guards. So,
Really?
yeah.
Wow.
Otherwise, you never have at least me, you never have the windows open in the car. I was never afraid. It's my country. I live there and I live in
Yeah.
a nice area, whatever. But, I was never like here I can have my windows open and I feel they're like, yeah, no, AC and windows closed. But yeah,
Yeah.
maybe if I have a gun, I wouldn't be that afraid. Or maybe I would be afraid to use it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know at this point.
I mean, I would definitely like to have you come out to one of our safety courses sometime. You'll have a course with one of our instructors. He'll take you to the range. You'll fire some guns. You'll get a feel of what it's like. It's good to know.
I'm sure.
Because a lot of people don't understand that, and a lot of people see guns, which you might see guns, as this evil machine sitting here on the table. It's going to kill people. And then we get them out to the range, and we take them through the safety course. We have them fire the gun or like that, and it changes their mind.
I'm sure.
Because they're like, oh, it was not what I thought it was. I mean, the media really makes them out to be this evil piece of equipment. But now I see how it could be actually a fun sport, or something could protect me someday. So again, I'd like to offer that to you to come to one of our courses and see what you think.
Oh, thank you. I would love that. Yes.
Yeah, it'd be really really nice to have you. Just the big question:
Yes.
have you ever fired a gun?
Yes.
You have.
Well, it is a club in Mexico.
Oh,
in my city.
okay.
I don't know how to translate it in English. It's called Cinegético. That's
Okay.
where people go to training to shoot.
Really?
That is the place where you can do it. And I don't know, I was a teenager and I found it very fun. I don't know if the club is the one who owns the guns. It was my parents with some friends that invited us, and that was probably my only time.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you remember what kind of gun it was you shot?
No.
You
I
don't?
was like
Yeah,
15,
okay.
so many years ago.
All right.
But I do remember this
Wow.
club. Yeah, and it's a big thing. It's
Yeah?
a big club. It's not little, it's a big
Really?
club.
So that's that. So basically, if you want to shoot in Mexico, you have to go to these clubs. Is that what it is?
To train. Yes.
Train. Okay.
But
got it.
funny things, you can go to these clubs to train, but you cannot own a gun.
Very
But
interesting.
sadly, all the people there who own a gun is because they got it in the black market. And sadly, the majority are in the organized crime.
Uh-huh.
Not, normal people like in Texas that everybody has one in their homes.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Well, good. Well, you know what? This has been very interesting for me because I've always wanted to talk to somebody, about their other country and what gun laws are and how that works and all that good stuff. And I always like to talk to them about their opinions about our country. About with our Second Amendment and that
Yes.
we're allowed to purchase firearms. And you came up with some good points. I really, really do appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been a very good conversation.
Oh, thank you so much.
And I tell you what I like to do. This is what I like to do. Once we get you out to the range with our instructors and we go through your safety course, I would like to bring you back on the show and then discuss your feelings of what you experienced that day on the range.
I would love it. Maybe you changed my mind, right?
Exactly. That's what we're
Okay,
hoping.
that's a deal.
That's what
Let's
it's
do
all
it.
about. That's it.
Okay.
That's it right there.
Perfect.
All right, Maricarmen, I really appreciate you having you on the show. Thank you for coming in. This has been a very enlightening conversation for me. And again, thank you very much.
No, thank you so much. It was really a pleasure.
All right. Well, that's our show for today, guys. And keep in mind, go to our YouTube channel, subscribe, hit that like button, comment, follow us on Instagram. And last but not least, always remember, safety, family, and the Second Amendment. See you later.